everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, to all my Canadian friends. I hope you're having a great day. It's, again, a beautiful day here on the West Coast. It's hard to believe it's the 9th of August. It's going up to 22 degrees Celsius today. Kind of hard to believe. As you can see, I'm kind of dressed for summer, which is really unusual for October. So yesterday when I was live, I said I would come and do a Thanksgiving card because I haven't done one recently. And so I'm going to use the Fond of Autumn bundle, which is just such a really pretty bundle. Doesn't have to be for fall. I made one using Sweet Sorbet and it just looks stunning. So in any color. I'm going to do some paper piecing today because I think the images are big enough that I can actually do that. So wish me luck with it, but I'm going to use fall colors. Soft suede, hello, soft suede, pale papaya, soft succulent. So those are the colors I'm going to use. All right, so let me switch over and we'll get started. So this is the Fond of Autumn Sweet. I really love it. It's just, I love anything that you can color. So I did a card quite a while ago using my blends to color these. As you can see, the dies that come with it. This is the one. This is a great background image, and you can kind of see the Sweet Sorbet, hey Betty, that I've used. It's still kind of caught in there. So this is a background image that makes a really pretty card. And then it comes with two images for this, two dies for this image. Now these images are at 90%, so the dies are bigger, of course, and the stamp is bigger. So this die cuts out the whole solid piece. And this die cuts out, get me going the right way, these pieces individually. So you can end up with this one stamp, you can end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I'm going to use that today because I'll end up cutting my pieces out. Well, we'll see. I might actually just fussy cut them because I am going to be doing paper piecing. But this is really great because then you can decide where you want the parts of that stamp to go. And then you have some, this leaf, an acorn, this flower, and then a really nice banner that will fit kind of the curved stamps that are there. All right, let's get started. So I've got soft suede, grabbing my paper trimmer. So I've cut it 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And that's the side I score on. So always fold it into the raised line or into the mountain, and use your bone folder. I'll be tired of me saying that, but I kind of have to remind myself to do that. All right, then I've got a piece of pale papaya, and I went ahead and embossed it using the leaf, the 3D leaf falling embossing folder. This is one of my favorites from the mini catalog, or the July to December mini. And so I thought just having some of the leaf background. If you wanted to, you could actually use your blending brushes to add some dimension to this by sponging over it. I'm not going to do that because I want to add my flowers to the top. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to stamp my big flower, or actually it's more than flowers, my big image using, I hope I've got a block. I think this block is big enough. Yes, it is. I'm going to stamp it using Memento. I'm going to color some of these images, and I'm going to paper piece some of them. So as always, when I've got a really large image, I tend to ink it up from the top. I just find it much easier to do that. You can use your Stamparatus as well if you want, but there, I've got my image. And then the other thing I'm going to do while I've got this, because I am going to do some cutting, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Memento. I've got room on the bottom of this, so we'll just And then there is an outline, so let's use that one as well. The nice thing is these are photopolymers, so it's easy to see through. And hopefully I left myself enough room. There we go. Just kind of off the end with the point, but anyway, that's all good. Okay, so let's take this. We'll need two dies here. We need the one to cut the banner, and then we need this one that will cut this large image into multiple pieces. Now, I'm going to use some Post-it note tape just to hold these in place. You can use Post-it notes, you can use washi tape, something just to hold it in place so that it doesn't shift when you're running it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There we go. Oops, and then I moved it with my fingers. Okay, I'm just going to take that off. My machine's over here, so we will just cut this out. Oopsie. That's what happens when you don't watch and you get your plates not aligned properly. It makes it really hard to run it through the machine. Gosh, that was hard work. Okay, so I've got my pieces. Isn't that cool how that die, I think I'm missing, I thought it cut into 5 pieces. Why do I only have 4? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it only cuts into 4 pieces. Oh yeah, okay, only cuts into 4 pieces. I was counting one twice. All right, and then I've got my sending thanks, which I did manage to cut off the edge, but we'll use it anyway. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's do some paper piecing. So I'm going to, I've got pulled out, this is some of the designer series paper in the 2021 to 2023 colors. So that's the pale papaya, soft succulent, and evening evergreen. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm just going to ink it up where I know I want to stamp. So I'm going to cut out some of these flowers. Well, I'm going to cut out my phone rings. Okay, so I've got the flowers, and then I want to cut out some of these leaves. And I think I'm going to do them in the dark leaves. Oops. In the evening evergreen. Now that's kind of hard to see for you, but I can see to cut those out. And I'm going to leave the soft succulent for the moment. We'll see how it goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and cut around this. And now I'm going to take and just cut around this, the pale papaya, the flowers, because that's what I want to paper piece on to my image that was cut out from the white. Now, when you come up against an image that is kind of this, whatever that is, that little leaf, I guess, just cut around it. Even though it's an odd shape, it will actually make sense when you go to adhere it on. It will line up perfectly. Now, I'm not going right up against the line. I don't mind if there's a little bit of, it's kind of a little extra showing. Just kind of follow along and cut out. Steer with the hand that's holding the paper. You'll find it much easier to do your fussy cutting. So I'm steering with this hand, not with the scissors. One, probably should have done some of this in advance, but I've done some paper piecing where it's really tiny, tiny pieces, and that makes it hard. These aren't too bad. So you can pick and choose. I'm actually going to do some coloring on this as well. And when you come up against, so I've got 2 flowers together, I'm not going to cut them out separately. I'm just going to kind of follow around that second flower. There's no point in cutting them out unless you wanted to pop one up, for example. But I'm going to keep them flat. All right, just about there. So who's all cooking? Cooking for Thanksgiving if you live in Canada? We are not. I'm not sure what we're going to have, but it won't be turkey. There's 2 of us. So, okay, so there's my 2 flowers. Now I'm going to take and cut out the big leaves. So I'm just going to kind of cut around some of these leaves. Again, you probably will have a hard time seeing. I can actually just see the stamped lines. Again, I'm not going right up to the edge of it. Getting close, but not exactly. Okay, trying to see where this leaf ends. So I think these are, I don't know, I get in trouble every time I say what I think they are because I am really not a gardener, but I think these are oak leaves. I don't know that. Somebody can correct me. Okay, so there's one. And let's do this big one. Trying to follow it around. There we go. Gosh, I was talking to somebody just a little while ago about turkey. It's getting lunchtime here, so I think the turkey talk and getting close to lunch made me hungry. All right, so I've got those 2 leaves. So that I think will be what I paper piece. So let's do some coloring. So I grabbed the soft suede. So let's do which one's the light one? That's the light one. Let's do the acorns in the soft suede. So I'm just coloring. These are quite small images, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time blending. We will just color using the blends. And because these bigger images, I'm actually paper piecing over top. We'll do that. There we go. You can do the top of the acorns in the dark. And you could do probably a much better job than I'm doing if you wanted to. All right. So that's the acorns, and those 2 pieces I've got that one and I've got that one. Probably should have done that other one. Don't even see it. I guess I didn't. Oh, there it is there. That's okay. I'm going to color this one. So this is going to be a mix of colored leaves and paper piece leaves. There we go. Oh, and then these ones. So I was trying to think of kind of quick ways you could do this coloring, because not everybody's into, coloring these big images. Like, I don't mind it. So that's why I thought paper piecing was a good idea. I'm not going to say it's quick and easy, but at least you don't have to do so much coloring. You could even just use your blending brushes if you wanted to and apply color, or a sponge dauber if you're, just want to apply a little bit of color. So now I'm going to take that leaf that I cut out, and that's this one. So it goes right adhere right onto there, like that. I kind of like the paper piecing because it gives you the different textures as well, because there is texture in the designer series paper. So there's one piece. Now I can take, if you were going to pop some of these pieces that you've cut out up, I would suggest that you actually color underneath them so that you don't see the white. It doesn't have to be perfect coloring, but just add a little bit of color underneath it so you don't see the white image below. There, and now we'll just take, probably should have colored this first. That's okay, we'll just go right up to the edge. Yeah, this Bond of Autumn is so pretty, and I don't know, hopefully you can see that you could actually use this not just for autumn cards. Just add a little bit of the dark soft succulent to those leaves. There we go. And then I've got just a few more leaves here that I'm just going to quickly color. These white berries, I'm going to leave white, and I'm going to go over them once I've got everything on my card using the using Wink of Stella, just to give them, it'll give them a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of color, because the Wink of Stella isn't perfectly clear. There we go. I always do my Wink of Stella at the end because it does take a little bit longer to dry. Okay. So let's think about how we want this to go. I got, so the leaf falling is, it's not, it doesn't cover the whole image. So you've got a little bit of space, so you can take and kind of apply these wherever you want them to fill the space. You can do it exactly how how the stamped image would be, but I think I kind of just will do it like that. And I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop these up. And then probably some glue dots to tuck some of the other pieces underneath. Turn that, okay. Again, pop this one up. Just tuck that there. And then glue dots just to tuck these kind of underneath. And maybe like that. And then I can take and just kind of pop this up, partly pop it up, partly adhere it. Now I grabbed I grabbed a few things here because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought maybe these textured elements would look quite pretty, but maybe I've got enough on here already. Oh, that's kind of pretty. All right, let's put one of these in. Just kind of a mishmash. This is actually part of the Boughs of Holly bundle or suite, these texture elements, but they are really pretty and work perfectly for, I think, perfectly for an autumn card. And the other thing I pulled out, now this is very vanilla and gold. Hello. Is it Rosemary? Hey, Nancy. 2 Nancys on. Welcome. Sorry, I just looked up. Welcome from Germany. So this is very vanilla and gold, but what I thought I would do is take my dark pale papaya. Oops. I had the right one first time. Okay, there we go. My pale papaya blend, Stamp and Blend, and you can color this ribbon. So even though it's very vanilla, I'm coloring it pale papaya. And I'm just going to add a bow onto my card. So I'm just kind of coloring enough so that I will be able to tie what will be a small bow, hopefully. I just love this ribbon. So the fact that it's very vanilla, and I don't use a lot of very vanilla. There are certain times I do, but this, I could have used it for this one, I guess. But you can actually see how beautifully it colors, and it's now perfectly coordinates with my pale papaya on my card. So tying just a small bow like that. And let's put this on and figure out. So this is popped up. Actually, I'm going to cut this. My die, I kind of cut off the end of mine. So I'm going to put dimensionals on just one end of this, on the end that is over to the left side that isn't popped up. And then a little bit of glue so that it all is at the same level. Like this. And I'm kind of not liking this being so white. So I'm going to take and just color this in pale papaya. Feeling like there's just a little bit too much white. Like that. Kind of changing my mind as I go, but I kind of like that a little bit. Just to take away some of that whiteness. Whiteness, that's a word. Okay, let's get this on the card and then I'll figure out where the bow is going to go. Again, I like to use liquid glue when I've embossed. I just find it holds. If I have ribbon on the back of my card, I tend to use Stamp and Seal, but if I have liquid embossing, I try to use liquid glue. Okay. Glue dots. It's funny how things disappear. They're right in front of you, but they disappear. Let's just put that kind of on there. All right, and then I said, actually, let's put this on. I got a piece of basic white for the inside of the card that is, actually I cut it 3 3/4 by 5 because I had intended to use it for the stamping the image, but I used my bigger piece. So let's just take and stamp one of these little flowers in the corner. Like that. If you want to color it, you can. I'm going to just leave it. Thank you. All right. So there'll be a little bit more of the soft suede showing in the inside of the card. Usually my inside of my card layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. All right, and then the last thing I do, because this takes a while to dry, like I said, is I'm just going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the berries. I don't know, you probably can't see this, but there's a fair amount of liquid kind of pooling on here, and I just find, add some onto the flower, the center of the flowers. If you want to, you could have actually, I could have colored the inside of the flowers, but maybe, yeah, you can just kind of see the liquid. So just leave your card to dry. That's my theory. When you've got Wink of Stella, and do it at the end so that it doesn't, I have found that if I do it too quickly and then I turn my card over to put the inside in or something, then I've got Wink of Stella on parts of the card that I don't want it on. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed that. That was fun to make an autumn card. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't used the Fond of Autumn for a little while. So it's a really pretty card. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. If you're having Thanksgiving dinner today or tomorrow, I hope you have a great turkey dinner or whatever it is that is traditional for you and your cooking. I will be back live on Tuesday night with my sketch challenge. So hopefully you'll join me then and see what I've got up my sleeve for a sketch for you. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.